What up? Welcome back to Cool Kid TCG. I have a matchup today of Blue Yellow Nami into Green Zoro playing my friend Barry J. We lost the dice roll, but we get to go first. Looking at this hand, thinking about it, it has the Marco blocker, it has the bow, which you can buy sometime. I think the Marco blocker is what made me keep it. Due to the fact that it's just a good thing to play down. If he rests and swings into it, I'm pretty okay with it. We're gonna Dawn Pass. He's going to start off with the Hiyori Searcher, rest to search. He gets to search top 5 for a slash attribute character or a green event. He's going to add Dead Man's Game, and he's gonna pass it back to us. We go to our 3 Dawn turn, and we could pretty much, I think we're just going to swing a big number. We don't have a great play. We're going to swing a big number into the Hiyori. It doesn't feel great whether big swings go into life, but we got to get rid of the Hiyori Searcher. And we have the Dawn on leader, can pitch a card if we need to. He taps 1 for a Perona Searcher, search top 5 again for a slash attribute or green event. He adds the restand event. Luffy will be the king of the pirates. Definitely not a card I want to see in the late game. He swings a big 8 life. We take no trigger. We go to our 5 Dawn turn. And the idea here is pretty straightforward. We're going to swing a 6 life. Hopefully we can draw. I told him I missequenced here. He's like, is it cool if I do this? And he's like, absolutely, dude. So I tap 4 for the marker so I can get the 7 cards in hand and then swing 6 life. So if I hit life, which I do, I get to draw. So just a little bit of a missequencing on my part. Shouts out to my opponent for letting me sequence it correctly. Just still getting used to the deck. Little things like making sure the amount of cards you have in your hand is huge. He's going to tap 5 for a Tashigi. Tashigi rests 6 costs or less, and then he gives 3 rests to Dawn to a Zoro leader. And he puts the other Dawn on and swings 9. So I draw for the Marco, and then he's going to swing 9 at my face, which I will take. No trigger. And he passes it back to us. So we go to our, I believe, 7 Dawn turn here. We can play the Boa, bottom deck the Perona, and freeze the Tashigi, meanwhile swinging a 6 life. Way too many cards to draw, even if we played the Boa down, due to the fact that the Marco got us some value. But yeah, we're going to swing a 6 life here, see if he takes, or get a card, 2k out of hand, and then we're going to freeze that Tashigi from attacking, and bottom deck that Perona. I lost the earlier game to a Perona, so let's make sure we get rid of that. And then we pass it back to him. And Boa's like, and when it comes to Tashigi rests 6 costs. Boa's a 6 cost, but she's got a vanilla stat line, so it's the most powerful it could be if he does play Tashigi and rests it. It's a great play. It wouldn't take a lot of counter to keep the Boa alive. He taps 1 for another Perona Searcher. He's thinking it through. And he proceeds with adding a Cavendish. So not Tashigi, best case scenario. He's going to tap 5 for that Cavendish, but he gets to restand 2, so really only tap 3. And he's got about 4 Dawn remaining, I want to say. I'm going to remind him that the Tashigi can't attack. A Gravity Blade would really hit next turn, because I could Gravity Blade away the Tashigi and the Cavendish, but don't currently have it. Only run 1 in the deck, not likely to show up. He's thinking it through. He's going to swing a big 9 life. I will protect here. I will go to a 7k leader for the turn by pitching a Kinoju, and then I need to give 2k, 1k. I'll give Veggie and a Nami. We draw a Nojiko for turn, and we are on 9 Dawn here. So Nojiko can get rid of 1 body. We do have a Zeus. I could make a play here. And the thing about what I'm about to do is I'm at 9 cards in hand. I'm going to make a slight missequencing, at least in my calculations. I don't know if I would still do this if I calculated it right. But my idea here is I play the Nojiko down. I can bounce one of the Tashigi and the Cavendishes. And then I play the Zeus down. I'm now at 7 cards in hand. And I can draw. So that was my thought process. But the problem is the Zeus, the cost is you take your own life, which I knew that was the cost, but I didn't account for that in the cards being in your hand. So here I'm just doing the math. Like if I put those two down, I'm at 7, so I would get the draw, right? But I'm taking that one card into my hand, so it's going to put my hand total up one more. So again, slight missequencing, and it's a risky play because I am taking life, but I feel like I need to get rid of his board. So I will bounce. The reason I bounced the Cavendish, I don't want him resting things. I'd rather him play it back down. And then I'll play the Zeus, take my own life, and it's a Gravity Blade, which, God, I wish I really had at the beginning of the turn. So we did clear the Tashigi and got rid of the Cavendish. He can just play the Cavendish next turn, but if he does, it's kind of okay. And now I have, I believe, 6 Dawn. Definitely going to put at least 1 on leader. I think we're going to swing 9-9 here. But I think it's also a mistake because what I'll say in a second, but I swing 9 here. Again, can't draw off of leader ability. He takes, no trigger, and I'm going to swing 9 again. I don't think I should swing this boa here. The reason being is I think we're in the... I should just read the type of game this is right now. By the way, he counters out. He gets up to 10. Even though it was tight to get a bunch of cards out of hand, we're at the point where he's just going to do Zoro things, as he says. Where he's just going to swing like all the Dawn on Boa and then all the Dawn and swing again at life and then potentially restand. I'm just going to lose that Boa. I would rather him play down at Tashigi, use some Dawn type stuff, because, or at least I would rather him do that than like I'm going to lose the Boa, and that's the only swingable thing I have right now because the Nojiko has 0 power and the Zeus only has 2, so it just doesn't feel great. By the way, he still has a Perona on board, so definitely need to respect that Perona because I have lost to one before. Our hand's pretty much 2Ks, but we do have an Odin and an 8-cost kid. And I have the Femur. I like that because if he blockers up, I could use that on the Boa, but I'm losing the Boa. So the fact that I've kept the Femur all this time is probably a mistake. He swings a big number into the Boa, then he swings a big number of life with 3 Dawn standing, and he's going to be able to tap 3 to restand again and swing. I believe this is 12. So we go 7k for the turn with the Femur. We got to give a lot of counters. So 11, or 9, 11, 13 gets us out of 12. So we had to give 3 2Ks plus leader ability. And now we don't have any board as well. So just thinking what I would need to do here. And if he has another 3-cost event, I'm going to lose. If I play a blocker, he could just... I need to play multiple blockers. The only blocker I run is Marco. But I do have the Kuma. The Kuma can get me out of this. I can heal as long as I think I can live as long as he doesn't have the restand event. So I'm going to swing a big 9 life first. Try to hit his life. While also hoping to draw a card because I am in the drawing range. So it would take a lot of cards out of hand here, or we get to draw, get a better idea. But we do have, it looks like, 1 2K in hand. Don't have a ton of counter. He takes, we do get the draw, and we draw into another 2K. So that's actually really good for us because now we tap 6 for the Kuma. We get to heal. And currently our hand has, I believe, the exact amount of counter it would need. Well, actually, no, we're 1K short. If he has the restand event, he's going to win the game unless we get a 1K counter from life. Because he would have to swing 12 again. If he swings 12-12, for example, using the restand event, we can't counter out of... We can only counter out of 11 right now. We can get up to 12. By using leader ability, get up to 7, then 2 2Ks gets us up to 11, and then one more gets us out of 12. He taps 1 for Prona's Searcher, and he adds the event. So the fact that's unfortunate for us that he added it, but it's also at least like we're going to be able to live this turn. If he goes through with that plan, he's going to swing 11 twice. I'm going to be able to counter out with the 2K, 2K, 1K. I'm going to have to pitch a card. Not sure which card to pitch. Could be probably the Gravity Blade at this point. I think it's a good card to have in case he plays multiple blockers. But yeah, we're also going to see what card we draw from our life. So yeah, he's going to go through with the plan. puts the remaining Dawn besides 3, so this should be 6 Dawn. He's going to swing 11 twice. We also have to respect him putting Dawn on the Perona, but I think that would be worse than the 11s. He asked how many 2Ks are in trash, and I told him I think there's 4 2Ks. I just counted it out, and there's about 6 cards that weren't 2Ks. He's counting his Dawn. He's going to go for it. He's going to do the 11-11. So here comes the first 11 we take. No trigger, and it's a kid. We have 2 kids, so we have a good card to pitch here. He restands. We're going to pitch the card to go 7K for the turn. 2 2Ks gets us to 11, and then an Nami gets us up to 12. We have exactly the perfect amount of counter in order to get out of the swing, and then he's going to pass it back to us. And now we have to go for game here. We don't have a Kuma. The only way we could survive is again to do the same exact thing we just did, which is Kuma. We have 2 ways to go about doing this, in my opinion. It's Dawn up on Kuma and lead and swing big numbers, or it's play the 8-cost kid and burn the last life and then swing like 7-7 or 5-9 per game. I'm going to choose to go with swinging, I believe it's going to be 11-13 per game. He takes no trigger, and now here comes a big, I think this is actually 12 for game, and he's going to counter out, and he's going to keep pitching. It's kind of hard to see, but he has the exact perfect amount, and he told me later that was all the counter he had in his hand, so the floodgates are open now. He just needs to swing. I have 3 cards in hand. He's just got to swing 15 per game, and he's got it. And he goes for it, and I go, you swing into the Kuma, right? You want to heal, right? But you want me to heal me, right? But yeah, shouts to my opponent. He played it really well. This was a grindy match. It would have been nice to get the yellow boa. It would have been nice to get a slaver and potentially shut off some of those plays. I think I made the aggressive play of doing the Zeus and taking my own life on that one. I was able to get rid of the Shigi, but I would put myself at 1 life, and then he got into the Zoro mode, and I couldn't overcome it. So I think I learned I can't do that. I need to try to stay at higher life. Maybe I'll start countering out of earlier life total numbers, something along those lines. But my opponent played it really well. Shouts to him. Let me know in the comments if they could have differently. Really appreciate you guys. I'll see you next time.